When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
We really gotta stop, like praise ya. Stop and praise the ancient of days. Teary-eyed with a smiling face, the praise you gave was already ordained. Stop and praise for keeping you in your lane. Give a praise for breaking off them chains. Before you let somebody steal your praise, think about the spirit in which they came. Think about the energy they gave. Is it worth it? Nope, never, no way. Kingdom we broke into a praise dance. I praise y'all for D4 hug daps. Praise Yahweh for the congregation, and I praise him for the angels, the elders, and all their dedication. See this truth, it'll cut you, heal you, it'll make or break you. It's a spiritual walk, it's a spiritual ride. Just don't despise the chastisement when you get chastised. You a son, not a bastard, right? You gon' get chastised. It's a spiritual ride, just vibe. Yeah, just vibe. We gon' ride. All praises to the Most High.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
Mercy on you, mercy on me. They say the truth has set you free. See prophecy been fulfilled for real. Now what the deal? We giving praise to the God of Yisrael. Cause it's real out here. People get killed out here. They robbing still out here. It's getting hard out here. The love of many wax cold from what I hear. But we backed by the Most High, so who shall you feel? You gotta be bold and righteous to live. The flesh is seething and wicked. Sin deceiving is vicious. Repentance needed to fix it. His mercy too exquisite to miss it. Just proceed to listen. Let's stick to the mission. Believe and receive his blessing. You see, blessings come from above. None of us deserve it. None of us is worthy. But we praise y'all for his mercy.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
Yonder.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me. Hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
We really gotta stop, like praise ya. Stop and praise the ancient of days. Teary-eyed and with a smiling face, the praise you gave was already ordained. Stop and praise for keeping you in your lane. Give them praise for breaking off them chains. Before you let somebody steal your praise, think about the spirit in which they came. Think about the energy they gave. Is it worth it? Nope, never, no way. Kingdom we broke into a praise dance. I praise y'all for D4 hug daps. Praise Yahweh for the congregation, and I praise him for the angels, the elders, and all their dedication. See this truth, it'll cut you, heal you, it'll make or break you. It's a spiritual walk, it's a spiritual ride. Just don't despise the chastisement when you get chastised. You a son, not a bastard, right? You gonna get chastised. It's a spiritual ride, just vibe. Yeah, just vibe. We gon' ride. All praises to the Most High.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
Mercy, mercy on you, mercy, mercy on me. They say the truth has set you free. See prophecy been fulfilled for real. Now what the deal? We giving praise to the God of Yisrael, cause it's real out here. People get killed out here. They robbing still out here. It's getting hard out here. The love of many wax cold from what I hear. But we back by the Most High, so who shall you feel? You gotta be bold and righteous to live. The flesh is seething and wicked. Sin deceiving is vicious. Repentance needed to fix it. His mercy too exquisite to miss it. Just proceed to listen. Let's stick to the mission. Believe and receive his blessing. You see, blessings come from above. None of us deserve it. None of us is worthy. But we praise y'all for his mercy.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
Facebook, Shalom, YouTube. Welcome to our prophecy lecture. Today we are in the book of Isaiah, chapter 25. Before we get started, does anyone have any questions? No questions? Let's go ahead and get started.
Isaiah chapter 25, verse 1. O Yahweh, thou art my Elohim. I will exalt thee. I will praise thy name, for thou hast done wonderful things. Thy counsels of old are faithfulness and truth. But thou hast made of a city an heap of a defenced city a ruin, a palace of strangers to be no city, which shall never be built. Therefore shall the strong people glorify thee, the city of the terrible nation shall fear thee. For thou hast been a strength to the poor, a strength to the needy in his distress, a refuge from the storm, a shelter from the heat, when the blast of the terrible ones is as a storm against the wall. Thou shalt bring down the noise of strangers, as the heat in a dry place. Even the heat with the shadow of a cloud, the branch of the terrible ones shall be brought low. And in this mountain shall Yahweh of hosts make unto all people a feast of fat things, a feast of wines on the leaves, of fat things full of marrow, of wines on the leaves well refined. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. He will swallow up death and victory, and the Adonai Elohim will wipe away tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth. For Yahweh have spoken it.
So here we have here in verse 8, we're talking about the resurrection. Look what he says. He will swallow up death and victory, and the Adonai Elohim will wipe away all tears of all faithful, and the rebuke of his people shall he take away from all the earth. Yahweh spoken, so it's also referring to us actually living in the kingdom of heaven. Yahweh rebuke is still upon us, even though we know who we are now. In virtual to that, as a whole, we still have that rebuke of people hate us. They don't even know why.
Is that veil in verse 7? Is that people from have a wisdom understanding of the truth of his word, or that's that veil to keep them from having a true understanding of who we are? Or a little bit of both?
Yeah, they don't know us. They don't know all they know is what they see. They don't know where it came from. Well, the big people know it. Anyway, the average person, they don't know who we are. So that Yahweh did that himself. He says that he would destroy this bound in the face of the place of the covering, cast over all people, veil that is spread over all the earth. Again, you can go up into Psalm 83 and run across the word hidden ones. Yahweh's hidden ones. He's covering the whole earth so people don't look at us as who we're supposed to be. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you got to kind of sympathize with those people. A lot of them don't know who we are because they look at us and they say, "Why are those people acting like they are?"
Yeah.
Why? Man, what's the problem? And a lot of them, they try to be sympathetic toward us, but not knowing that we're under Yahweh's reproaches on us.
Right.
Yeah, but I can see being a stranger. I don't really hate those people, but I just don't want to be around because bad things happen when you're around.
Yeah. In the church,
Right.
we now understand that Yahweh is in control of all of us. So he's hidden us among the nations, spread all over the world. Seeing us among the nations. So he said he's going to take that cover off there so they look at us, recognize who we are. We the people of the book. People, they want to go back in that book and look at why they didn't see this before. They all got down. They never saw America, they never saw us, even they see themselves in the scriptures. So that's the cover that y'all put on all nations. We don't want everybody to do the same. Well, he does things where he want to do them. We brought this upon ourselves. Our part is to keep the commandments. So in order for this punishment to come upon us, he had to take away our memory. He had to take away everything that we had, our land, our language, all that's been taken away. So all we know are the ways of the heathen. And the ways of the heathen got nothing to do with Yahweh. Now Yahweh's taking us away from the heathen and showing us his ways. This is the way we ought to walk. Now our minds are focused. Black people minds are not focused. emotionally unbalanced, and we're not now. Uh, Granted that some of us still got some cat in us, nevertheless, yeah, I won't take that over. I could expound on that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, like to say, in reference when he get like when I with me sometimes, no, tough to say, well, look, I will go to Deuteronomy 20:84, you shall serve your enemy. Now, I notice how I say that now. I will say that you gotta serve your enemy. As far as I say, now that what you see right there. I say that is, I let them read it. I say that actually is the transatlantic slave trade right there. And I say that is the house of Judah coming to America as those slaves. And then I would hit them like, what I mean, I say, um, do you think these people who our forefathers served as slaves and held us in captivity, do you think they love us that much that they would that that they would give us the truth in reference to who our God is?
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to our people now.
See, now you know you can't give our people what you just said. That's right. That's meat. You talking about House of Judah? They
Yeah.
don't know about no House of Judah, man. Call yourself Jew. They don't know what that means. You
But
gotta
some- but-
spoon. You gotta give them milk first.
but
Build the system up.
Yeah, but some of you they be Spanish. Some say, I never seen that.
Yeah, well, they just like our forefathers.
Yeah.
I ain't never been to the
Yeah,
but you know,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So you volunteer to come?
You just lay down.
Yeah, you need to change your
Yeah,
approach.
right.
All right, because you talking to people say, with the House of Judah and all of that.
Yeah,
They don't know nothing about what you know. You've been eating meat a long time,
yeah.
so you got to deal with them like they babies,
I got you.
right? Start them small,
All right.
right? Because they ain't got no teeth.
Mm-mm.
So when you throw that knowledge that you got on them, you done lost them.
Yeah.
They ain't listening no more.
All right.
So you sound crazy. What's the House of Judah?
Mm.
They ain't never heard of that, right?
Yeah.
So why are you talking about that? You talk about that later, after they get used to eating, drinking milk. They gotta stay on milk for a while. It's like anybody else come up here new, they don't know what we're talking about. But then Yahweh still keep them coming up here,
Right.
right? They listen
Right.
and trying to figure out what it is we're talking about because it seems to make sense, but they don't understand why does it make so much sense to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So they keep coming until they start making sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, they got a lot of zeal on that.
you got them tracks.
Yeah.
Well, let them have it.
I keep my tracks on. I give them out. Especially when I'm around Grady.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
See, with the track, you can say, well, let's take a little time to read that.
Yeah.
See what you think about it. Right? So you can't carry on a conversation with people that don't know what you're talking about. Well, if they read it, they may get an idea of where you're coming from. Right?
So what I'm gathering from you, as the people of the Christ, Yahweh put us in, real stuff, saying, huh?
You did what?
Put us in real darkness.
Well, yeah, well, it had to be that.
Yeah,
Right? White folks always know who are, everybody knew who are, but they never told, right?
right.
You know why? So Yahweh can get the glory,
Yeah,
not them.
yeah,
Because I imagine there have been some white people that have told us who we are, but we wouldn't believe it. We wouldn't accept it. That don't make sense to us. How can we get in trust of people?
yeah.
What about white people?
Mhm.
That's what we always say,
Yeah.
right? So let them have them tracks, man.
All right.
Let them read them track,
All right.
and then perhaps come back a little bit later and see what they say about it.
All right.
Right. What's the name of your track?
That's one that the curse.
The curse?
Yeah.
Is that what's on there?
It said the curse of blindness. We are not Africans.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good one. Yes. curse of blind, you are not African.
Yeah, that's the way to get started.
Let me ask you something before you go on, brother. Like they never told us. I actually got called this, but he didn't give me a definitive answer. They always call us spooks. Was they saying underhandedly that we were the spiritual people of God?
No, that's an insult.
Yeah, I know it, but somebody in here came up with that, and I say, you know what? Could be, I don't know.
No, they wouldn't give us that kind of honor.
Well, we wouldn't understand it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, we wouldn't understand it, but I'm pretty sure they didn't mean it as a
Yeah.
term of endearment.
Because they had all them codes, different codes to go by. You
Yeah,
know,
we can call them a bunch of dirty names.
yeah, and they had, got your little Sambo outside. They
Yeah,
rubbing his head,
yeah,
call themselves getting luck, good luck or blessing. They've
yeah,
always done things underhandedly.
yeah. Spooks, like, you can take it either way. You can say, well, we're such a scary people, we just call it spooks.
Hmm.
Everything's spooky.
Run away.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah. And then you call it spooks because um, we look like uh, dead people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I thought I'd ask you because I heard a guy came up here a long time ago. He kind of threw that out. I said, well, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, we've been called by words of property,
Yeah.
man.
But they got their codes. Like I say, you sit around, and it took me a long time to get on to class, but they would be Gentiles be at the table eating lunch, and they say, yeah, they do this and they do that, and I'm thinking they're talking about somebody within their ethnicity sitting right there talking about it.
Well, they know how to talk about you knowing it.
I'm saying the codes. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. They got codes.
Yeah.
Certain things they do, they can talk about you right to your face. You'll never know.
Well, I know it, even though we speak the same language,
Hmm.
but I've seen video of a brother in China uh, doing some shopping, and the Chinese was talking, the Chinese salespeople were talking about it, but they didn't realize he didn't speak the Chinese.
Yeah.
They came back with some Chinese. They looked at it like that.
Like, you remember when you used to go in them stores, right? Esau had on the corner. You go in there, they start talking that Yiddish, and it took me a minute to figure out they were talking about us.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they're talking about us.
Well, when you look at our fathers, they had to be bilingual because of all the people that came and went out of Jerusalem.
Hmm.
And so you had different empires to rule over them. So you look in the book of Daniel, they were speaking Aramaic, and in the empires of Persia, Medo-Persian Empire, Greek, they had to learn how to speak Greek, and they had to learn how to speak Latin. So that had an impact on the Hebrew language
Hmm.
because the Hebrew language started evolving, incorporating some words they never had before.
We're no longer
So
pure.
by the time they came out of Babylonian captivity, they couldn't speak Hebrew no more.
Because they even said what Nehemiah said, they speaking in the language of Ashdod and all that.
Yeah,
But that broke down that thing and broke saying they can speak Hebrew because Hebrew, like you said, is no longer pure with all that going on, right?
right,
Yeah.
right. So we have to learn different languages so we understand who we're talking to, right?
Hmm.
So here in America, they get slick with that language. And they talk about us without really mentioning us by name,
Right.
right? Because they both, whoever they talking, they have the same mindset, so they understand what you're really saying. Yeah. Now we didn't catch on too much later. They said, next time it's gonna be our turn. You know, we speak Hebrew to each other. They don't even know who we're talking about. So, how you feel about that? Go ahead.
Uh, Isaiah chapter 25, verse 9. And it shall be said in that day, Lo, this is our God. We have waited for him, and he will save us. This is Yahweh. We have waited for him. We will be glad and rejoice in his salvation.
Mm-hmm.
For in this mountain shall the hand of Yahweh rest, and Moab shall be trodden down under him, even as straw is trodden down for the dunghill.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall spread forth his hands in the midst of them, as he that swimmeth spreadeth forth his hands to swim, And he shall bring down their pride together with the spoils of their hands. And the fortress of the high fort of thy walls shall he bring down, lay low, and bring to the ground, even to the dust.
Now, all this in chapter 25, we said, is reflecting what's being said in the kingdom of heaven. But we look at verse 10. It says, "For in this mountain shall the hand of Yahweh rest, and Moab shall be trodden down under him, even as straw is trodden down for the dung heap. He shall spread forth his hands in the midst of them, as he that swimmeth spreadeth forth his hand to swim. And he shall bring down their pride together with the spoils of their hands. And the fortress of the high fort of thy wall shall he bring down, lay low, bring to the ground, even to the Moab much not going to be killed instantly. God going to die instantly when the Mashiach sets up his kingdom. So he'll probably just die on out because they are not allowed to be in the congregation of the children of Israel. So again, all of this is reflective of what the kingdom of heaven is going to be like verse 7, that he would destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and a veil that is spread over all the earth. But Yahweh did all of this. Right? So he's hidden us, but we don't see it. We didn't see it that way. Now we see he getting the glory for doing everything that we see. And he will swallow up death in victory in the Adonai Elohim, wipe away tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth. But Yahweh spoke again. Yahweh did all this. He did this to us. He caused the rebuke to come upon us. So none of us like us, and now we know why. So if he took the rebuke of us, then he must going to replace it with something else. Maybe he's going to replace it with love. Because you're going to be read up in Zechariah that 10 men out of all the languages of the earth will dread the spirit of him that's a Jew. And see, we will go with you because we heard of Yahweh with you. Well, that's not rebuke. That's love. That's something that they actually want to come around us. So right now they don't want to come around us. You don't blame them. If I was white, I wouldn't come around y'all either.
That's right.
That's what happened to the Palestinians now. That falls under these verses right here.
Yeah, Palestinians.
Right.
Yeah, that's Moab and Ammon. So they're eventually going to die
They're
out.
going through that now.
Yeah.
So it's like it started.
Well,
now.
most of them are still in Jordan.
Right.
Right, because whenever they get in a fight with them Israelis, they run up into Jordan. But Gaza was their spot. Now, the Israelis want to take that too. So, in the beginning, in 1948, when them Edomites came in, they just had a small portion of Palestine. And now, nearly 80 years later, you don't even see Palestine. So that's the whole plan. What was that called?
Greater Israel Project.
What?
The
The
Greater,
Greater Israel Project. Well, that includes Syria, though. So it includes all the Palestine. They want to take care of that, and then they put this out there and said there's no such thing as Palestine. There's no such thing as a Palestinian. All this time they did not know that. But you look at how Palestine got its name, then you can understand why people that grew up in that part of the world call themselves Palestinian. Eli Yaakov used to call himself a Palestinian.
Well, he said they call themselves Palestinian. You know, he put emphasis on it. He said, we are the Palestinians. Yeah.
You know, I used to think because, you know, the Palestinians, that was just a change from Philistines. I used to always think they were the Philistines, you know, just changing.
I forgot who channeled it. Was it the Greeks or the Romans? I think it was the Greeks. They combined Philistines with Syria or something like that and changed the name to Palestine. So they took Israel out, put Palestine in, but the land itself, the measurements of the land, that's Israel, ancient Israel. And well, when you look at again Psalm 83, you see what they want to make the name of Israel to cease no more men. And they did basically because all this time we've been saying Palestine, but that was actually Israel. So the Gentile, they They changed the name so you don't even recognize the land. That's the land of Israel. Some reason y'all wanted the Edomites up in there to bring Israel's name back up. So now they look at the name. They want to. There's animosity in Palestinians and the Israelis, and so the world says, well, the Palestinians need their own state, and the Israelis need their own state. But that ain't what is on their mind. Said we want you out of the country altogether. We don't want you here. That's a hell of a thing to do to the people that invite them in when nobody wanted them. During World War II, nobody wanted them to leave much in their land, man. And then Palestinians say, y'all come stay with us. We got a place for you. Now look how they repay them. Yeah.
It's like,
Yes,
I
sir.
agree. But well, that's like, for instance, like as you said, they invited them in, and like that's almost the same attitude as the Sodomites had when they in Sodom and Gomorrah, and what they're doing now, which is the LGBT, we actually it comes about a form of extermination.
Yeah. Well, when you look at what Yahweh has planned for these people,
Yeah.
He doesn't have the last very much longer. Because first of all, they can't be part of our congregation. We can let the Gentiles in with us. We can let Ham in with us.
Yeah.
But Moab and Ammon,
Yeah.
they are barred from being part of us. So that means they're gonna die out. All right. Let's continue, Rich.
Isaiah,
Go ahead.
Shalom here. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 1. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Yehuda. We have a strong city. Salvation will Elohim appoint for walls and bulwarks. Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter in. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee.
Mm-hmm.
Trust ye in Yahweh forever, for in Yahweh is everlasting strength. For he bringeth down them that dwell on high, the lofty city, he layeth it low. He layeth it low, even to the ground, he bringeth it even to the dust. The foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor and the steps of the needy. The way of the just is uprightness. Thou, most upright, doth weigh the path of the just. Yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Yahweh, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of Yahweh.
Now, that particular verse is very key. Do we understand why? Why is that verse so important? It says that favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of Yahweh. Now, who is that referring to? The tares. The tares in the Mashiach's parable in Matthew 13. These are those tares they're going to be part of the kingdom because they got some semblance of righteousness about them. But toward the end of the kingdom, the end of 1,000 years, that's when their true nature will be shown. That's why we got verse 10. Let favor be shown to the wicked. What favor is that? He's part of the kingdom of heaven. Yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, because at the end of those 1,000 years, it's going to be manifest that these are tares. They're not really righteous people. And will he deal unjustly, will not behold the majesty of Yahweh.
Will these terrorists be among the other nations, like the Gentiles and the Hamites and stuff?
They'll be with us,
I mean,
wherever we are.
I'm saying they'll be with us in our kingdom, but as far as who they are in particularly, there'll be other Gentiles and Hamites because, like we in the wilderness, we're gonna be going through the Persian. So it should be no tears left among us after we go through the Persian, And then as far as the other 9 tribes, they're gonna be going through great tribulation. So it should be no terror left among them. So I guess I'm just saying it's gonna be among the Gentiles and the Hamites and other nations that's gonna be among us. The terror gonna be
No other nation. These are all children of Israel.
so the terror is gonna be among the children.
Right.
The
These
children of
are,
Israel.
we'll still have terrors among us. You got to remember, in the kingdom of heaven, you still have death and hell there. So we got a condition there that if you still break Yahweh's law, a child should die 100 years old. So what would he be doing there in the first place? If everybody was all right, came out of the wilderness and came out of the great tribulation, why do you have people going to be dying in that kingdom? See what I'm saying? So you're going to still have sin in the world. And those very well might be the terrors. But at the end of the 1,000 years, that's when the terrors will be made manifest. You recognize them because now they're acting fool. Because there's nothing righteous about their behavior, and they're disrespectful to all things that are holy. So that then you recognize those must be the terrors.
I can see that, Elder. Because when Mashiach spoke that parable in Matthew 13, he was talking to us.
Yeah.
He wasn't talking to nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when he's talking during his ministry, that's all people he's talking to was us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I never realized that till you broke that down.
Yeah. These words back in them days, but it wasn't supposed to be for the people he was talking to. It's supposed to be for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so the adversary is Lucifer. He gonna plant those tares. He gonna go to the pit for 1,000 years. So them tares been planted. So it's gonna be 1,000 years of generations of tares. Like it's gonna be generated. It's gonna be like a family line of tares. Then kind of like that. I mean, like this person got planted in, and his seed. He live for 1,000 years. His seed is gonna be tares and tares, 1,000 years worth of tares. I mean, so you have to. So I guess if you basically got to look at certain people like, hold on, even though we're in the kingdom, I don't want my children around your children. They might come out tears 1,000 years from now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but everybody got to answer for his own sin.
Right.
So he might have been a child of a terror. That doesn't mean he's going to be like a terror at the end,
Okay.
right? Because we're going to have different nations among us. And his father that was doing all this wickedness, yeah, he's going to be at the end of 1,000 years, but he's going to be very thrown away the clock. And so, but his children, that don't do what his father did. We got that in Ezekiel 18.
Right. Okay.
They got to answer for their own sin. So they can't answer for his father's sin. Right.
I did, yeah. It's kind of what he was asking. So you say the tails to be revealed at the end of the 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So this will be after Satan is released.
No, this
It'll still be before. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
there be now Satan gonna go out to deceive the nations again, right? At the end of 1,000 years. But those people that are still in the kingdom at the end of the 1,000 years, they're gonna be made manifest who they truly are. And that's why I say everybody got to answer for his own sin. Right? So Satan ain't gonna have nothing to do with this.
No, okay.
Now, Satan gonna be in the bottom seat to the last minute, and that's when they're gonna be released. But those people that are doing 1,000 years, they're gonna be judged, but you still be able to sin. Right? So those terrorists are gonna be sinning at the end of the 1,000 years. Let me hear.
No, say that.
Okay, so as far as the new covenant, they're gonna be when Yahweh write his laws in our hearts and in our mind, there's gonna be after the 1,000 years. So
When the new heaven and new earth are created,
Mhm.
that's when that's gonna happen.
So that's when the new covenant gonna be enjoined.
Yeah.
As far as that. So,
Yeah.
so like right here, we read in verse 10, it says, that favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. So, you know what I mean?
Well, what was the favor that was shown to the wicked?
That he allowed him in the kingdom.
Right.
So that means the terror was already born before. It's not that he was born like Bliss was saying that like it's the seed of a terror.
Right.
That person was already allowed in the kingdom, even though he was wicked already.
Right.
So, and then they say, yet will he not learn? So he didn't know nothing about righteousness from the get-go. But it said, yet will he not learn righteousness?
Right. The thing about that is, if you remember, a terror and a wheat look alike.
Right.
Right. Until they become mature.
Mm-hmm.
And that's here they're going to be mature. Then you're going to notice the difference between the righteous and the unrighteous.
Right.
Right.
Because I know we're going to be teaching the nation righteousness. So
yeah, the nation, but these terrors are our people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's gonna be like people that like we know who we are, you know what I mean? And like we know about righteousness now. But it's saying right here, it's saying yet we not learn righteousness. So it's gonna be people that like of our people that don't even like that's gonna come in later on.
No, for instance, you look at them Israelite brothers we have today in America, right?
Right.
A lot of them don't know what this book is saying. They don't even read the book. All they know about is the fringes,
Right.
right? But you can't have a one-on-one conversation with them because they don't read the book.
Mhm.
They don't understand what the book is saying. So these are the kind of people that are still going to be in the kingdom. And so at the end of the 1,000 years, they're going to be made manifest that you don't know what the book is saying. So you're going to do something stupid, act like it's your right to do it.
Yeah, because I know it is, and even in the verse you're saying they were still gonna deal unjustly.
Yeah,
So you know what I mean?
and that's that wickedness because they're going to be dealing unjustly with the just.
Mm.
At the end of the 1,000 years, they're going to be made manifest that your behavior has revealed you to the rest of us.
But could they be dealing unjustly with the rest of the nations? Like dealing with them like overcharging them or doing something like you know what I mean, treating them because like they know we children of Israel, so we dealing unjustly with the rest of the nation.
Yeah, that would be a
Like they
tear.
like they doing like the nation's doing us now.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? So when we get in the kingdom, we think we can treat them like they doing us now, but we know we can't do that.
right.
So
Right. So
that'll be treating them unjustly.
well, that's why we read in Isaiah 42 about Shiach, Yahweh's servant, that the Gentiles will be looking for.
Mhm.
Well, all they got to do is complain about one of the children of Israel. You'll take care of that business. Right. They understand they haven't had any justice by their own people. And then here we come. And they know the law by then. They know that they're not supposed to be treated like that, especially by us.
Right.
And so that would be made manifest that that's a terror you're dealing with. Because the heart and mind ain't right. He'll be Israel, but the mind and heart ain't right.
Like like
I'm gonna get you a minute.
with the Messiah coming and magnifying the law and made it with our thoughts and our hearts, you know what I mean? Like, so with righteous acts, people can keep the law and keep the holy days and the Sabbath and make it in because they got the righteous acts, but their heart and their minds towards other people, you know what I mean? Like, how
That's all I'm out of people.
with the way they talk and just the way you treat people. Just okay, I can keep the law. I can keep the law, walk in the law, keep the commandments, and keep the law to the T. With I just treat people bad. It just, just in my thoughts, you know what I mean? So like, not the actions are righteous enough, but so towards the end of, towards not I can see towards the end of the kingdom, you children been manifest. It's easy for Satan to be released and go, look how these people treat you. He keeps the law, but he treats you like a second class citizen. He don't have to do that. He show you no love. The love is not there towards other people. You know what I mean? So they're like, so I see how you go to see other nations because how we act now. There's no love, and terrorists come in and go to acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, let's read about it, Terrence. Let's go to Matthew.
All right, so
I'm sorry, Ellen. What were you gonna say?
well, basically, what I want to say was like some people you meet and and they'll listen to you as far as you know you bringing forth the word, but it's almost like 'cause the reason why I'm asking that question is, do we all have to go through that same situation as is it as Eve went through? Is it not so? You understand what I'm saying? And whereas though that you how can I put it? Whereas though that you brought to the point where though your belief and your faith is questioned. Is it not so? You understand what I'm saying now?
Well, it's not gonna be that like that in the kingdom,
All right.
right? Because you're gonna be at that point where, yeah, you know who you are. You know how to carry yourself,
All right.
right? So, but all the time, your heart shit ain't right. That's what that's all.
All right.
There ain't gonna be no unbelievers in the kingdom,
Okay.
right? So everybody gonna that uh reading in the book, they're gonna be there, and when they're not reading the book, their name gonna be blotted out. That's why they call it terror,
All right.
because they're gonna be blotted out at the end of the kingdom, because they're gonna see a sinner,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Let's read
Let's go
about
to
that.
Matthew on that.
Let's see here. Let's pick this up Matthew 13 and verse 36 to verse 43.
What chapter man?
This Matthew 13, verse 36 and verse 43.
Then Yahshua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this age. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear.
So they're going to be manifest that these are wicked people that made it into the kingdom. But this is the purpose of them being there. So they gathered out of the kingdom, gone to the lake of fire. That'll be that judgment, the lake of fire will be after the end of 1,000 years, and the judgment of those the second death of the people getting thrown in the lake of fire. These tares gonna be thrown in the lake of fire with them. Satan and the devil and his angels, all of them.
So with Satan being able to go to see them nations, the people of the nations like I'm just saying they how they can be just sin free if the people of our people are sinning. They should be sinning. Some of them should be sinning too, right? They can't be part of tears, like
Yeah, but
like
all sin is sin. But nevertheless, that's why the animal sacrifices are coming back. Right? Because your sin still got to be atoned for. And so you got to imagine what kind of sin would the nations commit? Well, they can break Yahweh's law, they can kill somebody, they have to die. Judgment still stands. Whatever sin you commit, there's a judgment for it. So, but the law applied to us as well as them. That's how they think of it. Okay. So we see that again. Even Isaiah knew about the way the kingdom is going to be set up, and that there will be wickedness in that kingdom. And so we see that again. Isaiah says, "A child should die 100 years old." And so you can be considered a child at 100 years old. I find that amazing. It alludes to how long you're going to live from that point on. You're not even considered a man at 100 years old. That's awesome.
Will you be old?
That's a good question, because you got to wonder, like me and you and Steve, will we look like this when the kingdom is set up?
Right.
Will we always look like this for 1,000 years? That's what's hard.
We ain't gonna feel like that.
Well, I mean, you're going to be healthy now.
Yeah.
Remember, because you're going to be in that wilderness, and when you come out, you'll be purged of all the unclean things that you consume while you've been over here. And that will probably happen while you're in the wilderness, when you're going to be ministered to for 3.5 years. You're going to be eating healthy food, healthy water, all those things that make you healthy, and then you're going to have healing out there, according to Isaiah 35. So when you come out, you should be healthy.
We'll be in great shape, man.
Huh?
We'll be in great shape, man.
Yes. Yeah. Ready to go fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you need to hear, right? Yeah, but yeah, you're gonna be healthy when you come out of there, in better shape. Like for instance, people have issues, got pains that we got today. They're not gonna have any pains coming out of that wilderness. People that have lost a limb, that limb's gonna come back on. Just like the Mashiach I showed you in the miracles that he did, man had a withered hand, he made that thing straight. Like he cured the blind, all these things Mashiach did. So that's the same thing. He let you know this is where the kingdom's gonna be. You're gonna be healthy in that kingdom. Ain't gonna be deformity in that kingdom. Everybody's gonna be healthy. The men and the women will be healthy. No issues, no physical problems, no mental problems. We're gonna be in that kingdom healthy and strong. We're gonna have the Adam and Eve bodies. No blemish.
So the women can go back, that's old now, can probably convert back having children.
So what the old women, can they have
Well,
children?
yeah, I guess based upon their condition, they're married, whatnot, they can still go back having children.
Uh now that's a good question. I can't answer that. Because same rules may apply to women of a certain age.
Mm.
They have the baby making year between what 15 and 25, well 35. I say 35. Some take it all the way to 40, 50.
But why not though?
Well, not what?
They can't have babies and they well look at Sarah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, nah, we can't
I
stop
mean, you
that
look at
shit.
1,000 years, 100 years old. That's Pampers. That's a baby wearing Pampers.
living
Well,
5,
yeah,
6,
but
700
you're
years.
referring to men though. They didn't say that about women.
Yeah, I know it, but I'm just saying, don't make it true. But I'm saying, why not?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
When you look at Sarah,
I know
so
this is a patriarchy system here.
yeah, I know it.
Right? So women are not mentioned much. But again, the Machete heal women too. Yeah.
So if the men we be able to have procreate with, if our wives can't do nothing, then we gonna start having children then. So we like because we can't. Our wives can't have no children, so we be like the next 900 years and not having no kids because our wives can't have children.
Well, yeah. Well, again, if you can't bear a child, if a woman can't bear a child ever, then that should be reversed. Now, if a woman bear a child children before, the question is, will she be able to bear more? I don't know.
If she were one man,
If she have one man,
if she only has one man, he can have multiple wives, but the woman can only have one man. They should be able to bear.
yeah, well, that's true. Uh, polygamy only work for the men.
That's true.
So, will that be in the kingdom though? Will you have concubines in the kingdom?
Don't say that. It doesn't say that anyway.
Law just says 2 wives.
Hmm?
Law just speaks 2 wives.
Can you have two
I'm saying the
wives?
law just speaks of 2 wives.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's written
It's
2
more
wives.
than two.
That's,
It
that's prophecy.
It didn't say two. It didn't say two.
They
Man
say
can
have
have
one
many
wife, have
wives he can
another
take
wife,
care of,
that's
right?
not right.
Yeah, you gotta take care of them.
Under the old order things, a man can have many wives. Jacob had more than 2 wives.
Right.
David had more than 2 wives. Solomon had more.
They
Solomon
weren't
couldn't even
supposed
count the one
But
he
it, said,
had.
it told them not to add all the wives unto themselves. They weren't supposed to do
He
that.
was a king, though.
It said no, the king not to add wives and horses and goats to themselves.
It didn't say that about the common man, though. It said a king.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
He had the money, he had the finances, and they
But Elder, you know what? I can see that.
bring in people.
Now, if a man got an older wife, it's still gonna be 7 women to 1 man. So it's always women been around for the purpose of procreation, right? So I can see that if a woman is old, if she old in the beginning in that kingdom,
Well,
ain't
again,
nobody gonna
if
take
they're
it.
married, yeah,
Nobody
that'd be
gonna have
that.
it.
But will they be able to procreate? I don't know.
Yeah,
And what do you do about the widows?
yeah.
Are they gonna be any good?
I mean, they got a man's name, but they don't have a man,
Yeah.
And somebody just have to take care of it.
right?
That's all.
So if 7 women gonna come up to 1 man,
Hmm.
that means these women have never been married.
Right,
It's because they said, "Let us take your name."
right.
Yeah, right.
If they've been married, they already got somebody's name.
Mhm.
So whoever these 7 women are, they don't have a man's name. They need a man's name. So those widows, those divorced sisters that be in the kingdom, they didn't have a man's name.
Right.
Y'all gonna be very popular, Elder.
Huh?
You two gonna be very popular. You 3, 4, 5, 6.
Uh,
Bunch of y'all. Gonna be
that's wrong kind of popularity. Really. Feel like a sack of meat, man. That's all they looking at. I'm just meat to him, bro.
Oh,
That's
man.
what I don't want to be regarded as meat. I'm a man, man. Treat me like a man, man.
They're gonna treat you like a man.
Don't worry about it.
Roll out the red carpet.
I'll be a ribeye then.
You'll be a ribeye.
Yes, sir.
Be a real man.
Don't worry about it.
Y'all got the wrong idea. I'm not doing my job, apparently.
The purpose of a wife is to be a helpmeet, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, when we get in that kingdom, right? I mean, what would that job be? Like, as far as being a helpmeet.
She be submitting herself to her husband.
And her friend.
Every marriage is different. So the main purpose of being a helpmeet is that you submit yourself to someone to help them. So that's the purpose of a wife, to be a helpmeet. So she submit herself to her husband to be obedient to him. Right. Now, we ain't got that today, but y'all will, you have it in the kingdom.
So it won't be a need for a whole bunch of wives or women.
Now I can't explain why our father had so many wives. How David had so many wives, but yet he can kill Philistines all day long.
Yeah, right.
When did you have time to pay attention to your wife? And they didn't get upset about it either.
Right.
You know, the women, they like that attention. You got all the wives, you can't pay attention to all the wives. So to get away from it, you just go out and kill a bunch of Philistines for a day, he'll be all right.
But when you look at some of our ancestors, David and Yaakov, they really weren't very good husbands, very good fathers, because of what Yahweh had in store for them, right?
Yeah.
David was fighting all the time. David, if you look at them boys of David, man, all of them, something happened to them.
Well, they were raised in a warrior household,
Yeah, I know.
right? But David wasn't. So
Yeah.
they had servants and handmaids to look after him. So David didn't really have to get into daily business when he like he was with his father Jesse. When he was a little boy, yeah, Jesse took care of all the boys. Jesse wasn't fighting Philistines.
Yeah, David was a warrior.
Yeah, David was a warrior, and he was killing the Philistines all day long and trying to be king.
But those boys basically left unchecked. You can see by the action.
Yeah.
One of them actually even trapped his sister and sleeping with her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
raped her.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
That was David's fault.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. One big, good father.
with Hezekiah, I can sign says, you know, being married and growing and spiritually, you know, like with the helpmate, like I really don't need a wife to help me with a lot of physical things and that doing like more of a spiritual growth and spiritual things and you know and trying to be spiritual and help other people grow in their spirituality, you know, that's the type of helpmate. The kingdom gonna be more spiritually, so you know, they should as far as help, they be there to help us comfort us spiritually and help us, you know, grow and teach the spiritual side of things. You know what I mean? You know, that's what you're looking for, and that's what I'm trying to understand now. Like as I grow, you know what I mean. I can handle all the physical things or whatever. You know what I mean? Take is good, but just on that spiritual side, like that's what, you know, need the help. Like you know, sometimes you know what I mean. Thanks. That's the spiritual side of things. You know what I mean?
That begs the question.
Right.
You want her to be more spiritual minded than just a helpmeet.
I mean, that's helping me too because like with you there being more spiritual, that helps me. You know what I mean?
Well,
It
the
helps
point
me
I'm trying to
grow.
make is
Yeah.
that we don't know the effect of what life would be like without Satan.
Right.
Because Satan tempts people all the time, even your wives. Right? So how would that affect marriage if Satan on lockdown for 1,000 years? What kind of effect would that have on actually everybody? Because Satan you won't have Satan to blame for what you did. And Satan won't have any more power if Yahweh want Satan to come into your life and then you can do to stop it. So what would it be like without Satan on the scene? I know we're going to have peace, and the only death that will come upon you, and certain is had the power of death, is that you did it yourself because you broke the law. So that'll be something interesting to see is what life would be like without Satan. We don't know yet. Will it affect the women?
Right. Staying gone, would that put a lot of unclean spirits? They be in check.
Yeah, they'll be out of that too.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Only thing that belongs to Satan would be death and hell. They'll still be on the scene because you're still going to have sinful people out there. And they're going to do something to cause their own death. Yeah.
And he still ain't found Moshe, huh?
Did what now?
And he still haven't found Moshe.
Yeah,
So
that's,
he ain't perfect.
well, yeah, well, we don't know why he can't find him. He knows everybody else's body.
Yeah, he's in charge of that.
Yeah, so Yahweh got in the head. Well, look at he was sitting at the Mount of Transfiguration.
That's
So
right.
you're not going to find his body.
He up in there somewhere.
Yeah, well, we don't know at what point Moshe was raised up.
Sure.
At some point, he was raised back up.
That's all.
That's why Satan can't find his body.
Right.
It's already risen.
Right.
Well, it'd be interesting because with them, like you say, because our women now are very territorial. So you think them sisters' mindset gonna change that they gonna allow their husband to have more than another wife?
You talking about jealousy,
Yeah.
aren't you? Will your wife be jealous if you had a concubine or somebody else?
Yeah.
A married second woman.
Yeah.
But just so long as you marry a second woman, she can't be her sister.
Mhm.
That'll be breaking the law.
I was thinking the same thing, like you just saying, a lot of women, like even though they might be married, they still have like trust issues, insecurities, and stuff like that. And like you saying, when Satan being gone, you know what I mean, it'll be different, you know what I mean, as far as like the relationship.
Yeah, no, that's the question. Will that affect the way women think? Will they still be territorial? Will they still be jealous?
They won't have to worry about nobody going out cheating on them and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, that's true, but there's a little bit more to that than you look at, because women got their own issues,
Yes.
right? Ain't about not trusting her husband, but she just ain't wrapped too tight.
Especially that time wet come.
Well, Elder, you look at it. Yeah, you're right about that because with Satan gone, that disposition gonna change.
I'm looking at that too.
Because he went to Eve, right? First time he went to a weak vessel, somebody like you said, not really dealing with common sense. She dealing with her emotions, right?
Uh-huh.
So I can see that Satan when he's on lockdown, unclean spirits, they removed out of the land, right? So the thing of it is, yeah, I think women they won't have any problem, especially after knowing what's going on. They'll be more willing to submit themselves.
Well, I just have to wait and see.
I don't think it'd be any
Because
problem.
you got a combination of mental and physical with women, because the physical bodies, for instance, they got this thing they call menopause
Oh yeah,
at a certain age, and that kind of messes them up. They get sweats,
hot flashes.
hot flashes.
Yeah.
Will that be an issue in the kingdom?
Would be a mess be an issue.
Because the body's now affecting her mind,
Yeah.
right? So that's a combination of things there that we are not don't have to be encumbered with. Our bodies, our minds go in the same direction. But a woman's body at a certain age goes in another direction and affects her mental and emotional. Would that be allowed in the kingdom?
I don't think
So
so.
women, maybe at a certain age, that won't even be an issue.
Mm-mm. Let me
So if
ask
you're
you,
looking at 1,000 years, you mean to tell me after 50 years you got 950 years of menopause?
but Elder, let me ask you something. Could it be possible that a woman doesn't have a cycle anymore?
Cycle?
Mm-hmm.
No, because we read in Zechariah, there'll be
Very
churches
true.
playing in the street.
Yeah, I know when she had a discharge in those dead eggs. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they'll still be able to have children, so that means they're still gonna have to be on a cycle.
Yeah.
Right. So will they be like Sarah? I can't tell you.
You know what I think? Well, now we're still talking about our land being like the Garden of Eden, right?
Yeah.
So I just think a lot of things just gonna change.
Yeah. Again, the whole scenario is gonna change.
Yeah.
So
It just made me think about what was said to Eve in the garden, as far as like once you get a childbirth, she gonna go through that pain.
Yeah. I don't think they had it.
the reason women have pain in childbirth is because of Eve,
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
right? So you ask them, do they still have pain in childbirth?
Yeah.
That means
Couldn't work.
I wouldn't call it a curse, but that would be because of what she did. Now she's gonna have pain in childbearing.
Right.
Will that still be an issue in the kingdom? I don't know, because that's all we know is women being in pain near death
Right.
when it comes to bearing children. Will that be still part of their body? That you could die still from it. But when you sin, you're supposed to die in the kingdom. What sin did she commit, giving birth and die?
Right.
So I'm looking at maybe the whole child birthing issue will change to the point where it won't affect her mentally or even affect the body.
That's true.
Right. So we just have to wait and see, man. These good questions, and they're not answered in the scripture, and not answered in the Bible. But like I said before, we read in Zechariah chapter 8, we have children and men of very age standing with their staff. So you're going to have people growing old, but not as fast. And then they're going to be living. We don't know how we're going to look after the 1,000 years. And then, now you got to remember now that the resurrected dead will be among us. But at the end of the 1,000 years, these bodies can be flesh and blood if they're going to have eternal life. So these bodies have to change so that they can live better. Now we know Yahweh gives the resurrected people a body that He wants them to have. But what about us that are still alive? We can't have blood in our bodies. The shed can have blood in His resurrected body. But to live forever, you can't have blood in your body. So we have to wait to see how that's going to work out. Man. We got a lot of questions, but a lot of mysteries in here too. So these are legitimate questions, and look, at least we're stepping in the right direction to even ask the question. No one even bothered asking the question at all. No one talks about eternal life. But now Yahweh are putting that in our hearts. Let's talk about this eternal life. What does all that mean? I mean, there will be no death, because there will be no more sin. So what is this like? What does it feel like to live forever? Will you get bored? Now you got to be in a city made of pure gold. Will that get old? Because you see it every day. And then there's no night in that city. So your body's got to change to the point where it can adjust, never sleeping. So I mean, these are questions that that are not answered. All we know is that at some point you're gonna live forever. But getting back to the tares and the wheat in the kingdom, in the 1,000-year kingdom of heaven, you see that in that kingdom, this is just the beginning. This book is just the beginning. You got to learn how to live forever. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to not die, not see death anymore. So one of the things you're gonna be doing, I guess, is to learn how to live forever. What do you think of? What's on your mind?
So the curses have been totally lifted.
What
From the
not?
beginning, the curses have been totally lifted from the beginning, because that's when the curses came on Father Adam and Mother Eve. All right, he cursed her with pain and stuff, having children.
He didn't call it a curse. He told the serpent he was cursed.
Yeah, he did curse the serpent, but for her to start having
And
pain in childbirth, she was
well,
cursed.
Adam, the ground was cursed because of Adam,
That's right.
right? But he never cursed Eve. He never cursed Adam.
So they have never been cursed, but had to go through the ordeal of being cursed. Okay, so automatically it's going to be lifted off of it, right?
Who?
For the 1,000 years, after the 1,000 years, that curse that started in the beginning when they allowed whoever and whatever it was to trick them into eating that piece of fruit.
The serpent.
Yeah.
He cursed the serpent. He didn't
Yeah, I
curse
know.
Adam and Eve.
Okay, he didn't curse them, but yet and still their number of days decreased. The number of days didn't go. I mean, they were
I know.
living 500-800 years.
Yeah.
Okay, was that a curse on it?
No,
Because
it's
he
a result of them eating of the tree of the knowledge of good and
Mhm.
evil,
Right, right.
because that their body could not handle the evil. They can handle the good. They knew what good was about. But that evil is what's destroying them.
Yeah.
That's what's making them die.
Yeah,
They were never supposed to know about evil.
that's right.
Right.
That's right.
So now they know about evil. These are flesh and blood bodies made of clay made of dust. They cannot hold that evil. That evil kills them.
It's kind of like going, like say, if you know righteousness and you can do what's righteous, that's life. When you do evil, do wrong, that's death. So when they got out of evil, the death came upon the life. You're just righteous, that's life. You can live eternal life. When you're doing wicked and sin, that's death. So they got the knowledge of evil and the knowledge of sin that brought death in them. Kind of like it's kind of like how it works.
Well, very flesh is sinful flesh.
Right.
You know, have simple thoughts and thoughts that we can't stop.
But Adam and Eve didn't have simple thoughts until they ate to the tree of knowledge.
Right.
Right.
So that's why I asked the question: how do they know how to make love?
Mhm.
Because they ain't never seen it before.
That's right.
But they watched
They
the
ain't
animals.
ever did it.
No, don't go there.
Oh, man.
Go see two chickens get along. Let's do it like them.
But you know what, El?
Yeah.
Only thing I can say about that, the only reason they know how to make love, they were just following what was already written in heaven, right? That's about it.
No. The reason they knew how to make love
Mhm.
appropriate is because of what they learned from eating of the tree of knowledge and good and evil. That was part of that knowledge of
yeah.
good and evil.
Okay,
They
that-
learned,
All right.
they knew how to make love.
Yeah.
To make a
They've
baby.
been playing it.
Yeah. So they didn't have to watch no animals.
Yeah.
They already knew.
Oh yeah, they had a question.
Right. Because you got to understand, they were created grown people. They didn't have to learn anything. They already knew. Unlike today, a child got to raise a child up, teach it. But these are created beings, very first created beings, they were grown.
Mm.
And so they already knew things that no one else would know if they're a baby.
So they already knew how to make love then without being lustful and sinful.
You did what?
They probably already knew how to make love then without it being lustful and still without the lust. They already knew like, okay, this body part is for. I got this body part, because I have testicles. This is what it's for without the lesbian part of it. I'm not lusting for you, but this is what this is for. So we want to have kids. Because that's what's in these sacks of mine is seed, and that's what we're planting in you without the lust being there. You know what I mean?
That's why Yahweh instituted marriage.
Right.
To contain that lust.
Right.
Right? So it wouldn't be fornication or adultery.
Right. I think Adam might have knew more than Eve, because it don't say how old Adam was when Eve was created to take him out of Adam's rib.
Yeah, I know.
So,
How old was it? Was it in the 20s, 30s, 40s?
You don't say how old.
I know it doesn't say that. It doesn't tell you how old Eve was either.
Yeah,
But they were man and wife.
Yeah, but I'm just saying before Yahweh took the Eve out of the Adam's rib, it don't say how old Adam was. So you know what I mean, you could have learned a lot during the time period before Yahweh even
Learn what?
whatever Yahweh wanted him to know.
Well, remember now, Yahweh set him up to give names to all the animals. Right? So he already had the capacity to individualize each animal and give them names.
Right.
But as far as the flesh is concerned, they didn't even know they were naked.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what, Elder? I'm glad the Spirit brought that to you. You remember Elder Yaakov said years ago, nothing you could eat can make you aware of anything.
Right.
But that's what the Spirit gave him.
Right.
But now the Spirit showed you, said when they ate of that fruit, their eyes were open.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Elder Yaakov, he said, no, because he said, who told you that you were naked? Elder Yaakov always went, the serpent told him, say you naked. That's where he went with it. But it's plainly written, the Spirit didn't show him that. It showed you that, right?
Yeah.
So when they ate of that, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, well, their eyes were open.
Right.
And they became, just like it was said, he wanted us now, he's God, knowing good and evil.
Right.
Right.
But the question still remains, what did Eve know about conceiving. I know they got the act, but he told her you're gonna have babies. They never seen a baby before. They'll be the ones that had the first babies.
She didn't know anything. She didn't have a mother, a sister,
Well,
nobody.
knowing
She
how
said,
to now you know how to make the baby.
mhm.
That'll be her first pregnancy. So she got to go through those changes for 9 months, and then after that she'll get used to it. Now a whole bunch. They don't have a whole bunch of children. Yeah. So again, they learn how to cook, to make love to one another through the knowledge of good and evil. Right.
Yeah, I know it's not written, but I mean, do you think that the angels were among them, like in that garden?
That was an angel that God will.
Yeah, I
That
know.
was talking to them.
Yeah, I know I know that angel, but I'm just saying other angels.
Other angels,
I know it's not written, but you know what I mean? Because like,
um, if one, I wouldn't put it as angel, I put them as spirits,
mhm.
because you look at in Proverbs 5, Proverbs 8, about the spirit of wisdom, that he was there in the beginning.
Mhm.
She was there at the beginning.
Right.
And with that spirit of wisdom, the spirit of understanding and knowledge, that's part of the composition of Adam.
Right.
He already knew,
Mhm.
but not but no one even tested him. Tell him, right? I'll teach him.
Right.
So that's when the spirits kind of came into play to put within Adam so he could understand who it is he's dealing with and what it is he's dealing with. He's the first of his kind. So he has to balance that out. So what does that mean? I don't see nobody else around here like me. I see some animals, but they don't look like me. But Yahweh told him, you're going to have dominion over these animals. This whole earth is going to be yours. So that's why when you read up in chapter 2, Yahweh wanted to see what he would name those animals. Because the animals couldn't name themselves.
Right.
So that it was not like they were carnivorous animals. They would eat a straw, right? So they had no fear of them. But Yahweh was looking at his intelligence to see what kind of names would he give these animals. Yahweh could have given name himself. But he wanted to see what the first man called. So he had some intelligence. Yeah.
So when the kingdom of Elohim, law should be fulfilled, correct? In the kingdom of Elohim, the law will be fulfilled, right?
William, the kingdom of heaven,
The kingdom of Elohim.
kingdom of Elohim, yeah.
So
Well, we deal with certain aspects of the law, like the feast days. Some of those feast days are supposed to keep forever.
So I mean, cause I'm talking like with the dress code, you know, that's part of the law. So I mean, just thinking with like Adam and Eve not cheating, not that you're naked. In the kingdom of Elohim, when we have clothes, I mean, we go back to being that because, like I said, we're going back to a purity. We need clothes. I mean, we're not gonna look at the lust and all that's gonna be gone. So when we look at each other like, okay, you naked. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I asked that same question. What would be the need for clothes? Because Adam was butt naked,
right.
right?
Mhm.
You didn't know it. So will our mind return to the innocence of Adam? That's the question.
Talking about doing
We're talking about the kingdom.
the kingdom of
Kingdom of
Elohim.
Elohim. Yeah. In the kingdom, will our mind return to that purity innocence like it was with Adam? Because there was no sin in the world. Adam never committed sin. He was flesh, but he never committed sin.
Well, that's
So
like
will
that.
our minds go back to after all we've learned from a sinful life to that new life on that new heaven, new earth? Will we still remember the old things that caused us all this flesh and all these fleshly problems? Will we bring that gold into the new heaven, new earth? Well, because see, we got to be purged of those thoughts. If we got to have pure thoughts, if we're not going to be able to sin no more,
Right.
some of them thoughts got to come out of our minds.
When you gonna give them a new heart?
Yeah, right.
Take away the hard stone and give it the heart for this.
Well, let's go look at that. Let's look at Revelation.
Well, when they saw the Mashiach at his resurrection, he had clothes on. You have to assume he had clothes on, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't walk around naked.
Okay.
But he had to blend in with the people because a man walking around naked does not blend in.
See, that's the time I was thinking about with the angels. When the angels appeared to the men, they of course they got clothes on. So
Yeah.
but when they back in heaven, do they have clothes on?
They got mansions.
Yeah.
Got closets and everything. Dry cleaners. Where we at though?
In Revelation chapter 21, in verse 4,
So the other ones were naked always. Never had
pick it up in verse 3.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of Elohim is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Elohim himself shall be with them and be their Elohim. And Elohim shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Read verse 5.
And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful.
So he's making all things new, something we've never seen before. Never even came into our mind. So you take that description of what's going to be like in the kingdom of Elohim and compare that to what you're thinking about now. Because right now you're ashamed of your thoughts. You can cry, you get angry, all those things that you have bottled up in you. You have those emotional things you have to deal with. So he said, I'm making all things. Look, you ain't never seen nothing like this before. Yeah.
You know, Elder, goes back to what we were saying about how the kingdom is going to be set up. We have clothes to either take off because we're too too hot, or you put clothes on because you're too cold. So going back to what brothers were saying about will you be clothed? Well, in the kingdom, like you said, what would the climate be like? You
We
know,
don't know.
like you said, and also the when we were talking about the lights, you know, so those are a lot of different variables that has to come into play when we talk about would you have clothes or whether or not, because we don't know what that is. Because like here, it's cold some days, it's warm some days, you know.
So we will have seasons.
So will there be seasons in the kingdom? Because like I said, there's going to be light, so we got to adjust to not sleeping. You know, how's that going to factor in? You know, it's going to be a steady 70, 80 degrees.
What do you think of? Think about if you're living forever. Where's your mind?
We can't identify with that.
I know we don't know what it's like.
No.
You know, I'm thinking like when the verse talking about we should shine like the sun, you know, maybe our clothes might be some type of light, you know what I mean? Because we shine like the sun, that brightness that's coming off of that might be kind of like a clothing, you know what I mean? So we don't look at each other like that. It's so bright. You know what I'm
You
saying?
saying the clothes would bring forth light
I
that
mean,
we wear?
no, we're bringing forth like we gonna shine like the sun. We bring forth light, so our brightness that we bring forth is kind of like a clothing. You know what I mean? Like you bright,
Oh,
so
okay.
I can't see you. You know your whole physical nature because you're bright. You shine like the sun. You know what I mean?
Like Moshe coming down the mountain.
Yeah, like Moshe coming out of the mouth, his face showing, like the whole body gonna show. So like I can't see your nakedness, your physical shape. I can see you, but you can't your physical shape. We can communicate, but because your brightness, I can't see your physical shape. So we're not technically naked, but not technically naked. We're not necessarily physical cold with that brightness that we shining so
Cover
bright.
your body so you can't really look,
Yeah, like
see if
they
you're naked or
could,
not.
they could look at Moses' face because he was shine. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Hold on a second. Let me call Steve Spielberg. A story for you.
You see what I'm saying, though? Like Moses that shine so bright they couldn't even look at his face. You know what I mean?
I understand,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really explicitly say that you're gonna have light emitting from you.
Right.
The light will be emitting from the Mashiach.
Right.
So we'll be looking at things through what his light shows us. So we don't have to have that kind of light within us. So with him being a light, why would he need to have anybody else with a light?
I'm talking like I like probably like his, but you know, like kind of like Moses' face shine, like you know, it's gonna shine like the sun. Maybe not his light, but the type like he had. Because he-
What will be the
so-
purpose of
I'm just speculating, you know what I mean?
it? There's got to be a purpose for somebody emitting light.
Right.
So what does that do? And keep in mind, you're not going to have any animal sacrifice, so that means there won't be any blood there. But you're still supposed to keep the feast days until all be fulfilled, right? So you won't have to keep the Day of Atonement. Once that new heaven and earth set up, there's no need for it.
Like, you know how kind of like, you know, babies, you look at their eyes so bright, you know what I mean? Little kids, their eyes so bright, like, you know what I mean? Compared to somebody who's grown, you know, like, you know, it's like light there, like it's bright. So you know what I mean? Just intensify because we're in the kingdom of Elohim now, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
but with Moses, his face has something similar to
Our perspective will change
right.
with the way we look at things. Because if you're looking at the New Jerusalem, it's going to be very, very tall, very, very wide, very, very thick. Well, who's going to see the top of the wall? Who's going to see the end of the wall? How can you, because you can't even see 40, 50 feet now, but now you expected to see, what, 15,000 miles?
14, yeah, wow, yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we can actually see something 15,000 miles away. So your body's going to change like you've never seen it. But with the Jerusalem that big, that means that new earth got to be even bigger. Because you're going to still have other nations on that earth. And they're going to have eternal life too. But you still going to be rulers of the earth. As because the earth is in the law, earth been given to you. Yeah.
Now everybody comes from Adam, and now we going to the kingdom of Elohim. Would there still be a separateness in the nations when everybody just become like similar, the same? Because like you know, it's no longer a separation anymore because we all. I guess we all the same, but we relate to the kingdom of Elohim. So would there be separate nations there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be a separation. So the Gentiles and the other Hamites that make it to that end of that 1,000 years, they're going to be there in the new heaven and earth too. Because we still got to have somebody to rule over.
Okay.
Yeah. That'd be
Oh, he was before me.
Yeah. In Revelation chapter 1, John saw a vision of the Mashiach, right? He was clothed.
Yeah.
That should answer the question right there. He was clothed. He saw a vision because he was caught up in the spirit, right? He saw a vision here in 13 on down that described the Mashiach, right? This
Yeah.
angel, whoever it was.
Yeah.
So
So what is the purpose of covering?
that's another bit they're missing, unless he had a garment on.
What was the first covering?
Mhm.
What was the first cover?
Oh, to hide our nakedness.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. So he naturally have his covering on to have his nakedness.
right.
Right. Because we're still dealing with sinful flesh.
Yeah,
So you don't want to see your flesh, even though you don't need the clothes, but you still, for the sake of righteousness, keep yourself covered. You got to remember now the priest had special clothes to wear,
right.
right? So if he's going to give us a new heart, will that have any effect on our clothing?
Well, like I said, John saw the Mashiach.
Well, he had that new heart. He just got the message.
Mhm.
Nakedness is kind of compared to sin a little bit, right?
Huh?
Nakedness throughout the scriptures is kind of like compared to sin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk about the whore in Revelation 12, whatever. In Revelation, you will see your nakedness. You know what I mean? We're gonna see your nakedness. Your nakedness kind of like compared to sin.
Well, that's
Without
because
sin, there's nakedness, right?
that's because sin was in the world.
Right.
So you got to cover up your naked. You got to cover up that sin.
Without no sin.
But if there's no sin, why do you need to cover?
No, I had a question, but I think it's foolish the question I'm asked. After all is said and done, would the Europeans still look the same?
With the what?
The Europeans.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, what if we all look alike? Who would we rule over?
All right, so basically, I mean, my interpretation of it is maybe I might look at it wrong. I don't see nothing on the face of the earth that they can identify.
Are you saying that the Gentiles would end up looking like us?
Well, I mean,
Now, see, look, well, we know suicide is not a sin, but you're gonna have a bunch of white folks killing each other themselves
yeah.
because now they look like Negroes. They are proud to be white. Let them white folks stay white. Right? Don't let them look like a now. And the resurrection, that's a different story, right? Because in the resurrection, Yahweh gonna give them the body that He wants them to have. So they might have died a Gentile, but they wake up looking like us.
Mm-hmm.
That would have shocked.
Will they become a Jew at their resurrection?
Huh?
Will they become Jews at their resurrection?
Will they be a Jew?
I mean, at their resurrection, when they
Will
resurrection.
they still be Jews?
I mean, wait. The
At the
Gentiles
resurrection.
and Hamites, they the ones that resurrected to the first resurrection that makes the kingdom of heaven. They would resurrect and become Jews.
They'll become priests.
Okay.
Right?
Well, priests of the Jews, right? Of our people,
Well,
right? So,
the priests and the Levites.
Levi, so they become
Right.
Levites then. That's what I'm saying.
So again, they're gonna have those angel bodies, right? So they won't be getting married. They're gonna be priests in the temple on this earth. As far as their racial, what would they be racially?
They become Levites, so they're like,
Well, they're gonna be priests, so they'll have access to the temple, right? So they'll be priests of Elohim and the Mashiach himself.
Saying in the resurrected,
The resurrected dead.
in the resurrected Mashiach, that's neither Jew nor Greek, right? So they won't have
No kind of racial designation.
right,
But what would they look like?
right. See, like you said, everything we talking about, those are mysteries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a mystery.
yeah, you can't
So
really.
all the angels, no doubt, look alike. Right? They all got different responsibilities and dominions and authority. Uh, but the resurrected dead, what would they look like when the resurrected dead? Because when Mashiach was resurrected, his disciples didn't recognize him.
Mhm.
But they knew that wasn't a stranger. He wasn't another nation. He's a Jew. He looked like a Jew. Right? He just didn't look the same. So you're looking at skin complexion. Yeah, when you resurrected, when Mashiach was resurrected, he looked like his brothers. Because he could look like a Greek or Roman, because they wouldn't have nothing to do with it. So he had to look like his people.
So the only way you can become a Jew is coming from the child of Judah. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. So everybody that's not from Judah ain't a Jew.
I mean Israelite, you know what I'm saying?
No Israel.
I'm just saying, like, for the resurrection.
As far as the resurrection is still Judah.
Well, yeah.
Come on, Judah.
Yeah, he was just letting them know, yeah, this is what the resurrection looks like. I look like y'all.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't look like I used to look.
Right.
But look at my hands and my side.
Right.
Right? I'm that guy.
Right.
I just don't look the same anymore. That's the only difference.
That's the only.
Yahweh gives them a brand new body. But will he make a racial distinction in the bodies that are resurrected? Because look at white people.
Yeah.
They're going to be resurrected, but will they be resurrected as white people?
I don't think so. No.
Why not? The Messiah was resurrected as a Jew.
Yeah, but they're gonna be priests, right?
They're going to be priests, but they'll be the priests after the Melchizedek priesthood.
Well, that means they'll be a color.
So they won't be Levitical priests.
No.
No.
Right? So we don't know the stipulation of the characteristics of what a Melchizedek priesthood is when the Messiah starts ruling the kingdom. He's going to be in charge of those resurrected bodies too. They're going to be in that temple. But will they look like us?
Well, of course, they started off. Then they started off looking like us, after the flood. You get Ham.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they all looked alike.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right?
talking
And
about.
had children that looked alike.
Yeah,
Right? But when it started building on the Tower of Babel,
yeah.
y'all were confused in language, right? So they went off into their own lands, and that's when the change occurred physically. Because all those are the sons of Noah,
Right,
and them three boys, see, they all look alike,
right.
right? But they were divided up into different nations.
That's correct.
That when they confused the language at Tower of Babel. So the change came and their complexion, their height, their hairstyle when they got in those nations. We don't know why or how, but they start out looking alike.
Right.
But by the end of it, they look totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It might not be written, but maybe that change came so they wouldn't try to come back together again. The language already separated, but that color probably add a little extra separation. You know what I mean? To keep from trying to come back because like you just don't, you really don't want to be around people that match your color unless you just tired of your own people. You know what I mean? So maybe maybe that color change came in, even hairstyle. Because people live up in Europe all these years, they ain't changed nothing, but maybe it came so they went so the nations will try to come back together and reunite to try to do another Bible again one day. As they start to learn each other's languages, that color kept that separation. Because eventually we'll learn each other's languages in time.
Well, everybody's gonna be on its own vine and on fig tree, right? So they don't have to worry about being fake. They're gonna be back in their land, and they're gonna look like people of that land, right? So, why? That's a question you can ask Mashiach. Why does everybody look so different from Noah and them three boys? That's something he can answer. I can't answer. All I know is we got a whole bunch of different looking people. And we don't know what the effect of migration had on how these people look. Because we don't know how the Chinese get that look. How the Japanese get that look. Right? And the Indians. How they get that look? If they all started out black. Can't tell. That's something you have to ask Mashiach.
But when the nations is still become back, I guess, resurrected as different nations because even on the new earth, you gonna still have they'll be servants unto us, right?
They have to bring their GNP up into our kingdom.
So they couldn't be us. They have to stay.
Right. They can't look like us.
Right.
Yeah.
Only because of the reason they'll be our servant.
Only because of what?
Only because of the reason that they are our servant. They're going to now be our servant, so they can't look like. That's what you just said there. Exactly.
Well, I mean, Hagar looked like Abraham people. Well, she was a Hamite.
I know.
And by law, we couldn't make our own people our slave.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Be our servant.
yeah, but we still got law that tells you how you treat a slave or a servant. Now, just because the nation, we're going to be rulers over the nation, that doesn't mean that we're not going to have poor people among us. So with that, the law kicks in to open up your hands wide to your poor brother. Remember what the rich man and Lazarus, what happened with them? Yeah, so that's going to be still an issue. But when you read up in the book of Zephaniah, it talks about the poor and afflicted will still be among you also.
I understand the poor a little bit because I don't see how you're gonna become poor, in the kingdom of this that. So I just pray it don't happen to me, y'all really. But as far as the afflicted, what kind of afflictions would they have? Like, I mean, what kind of afflictions would they have? I mean, what type? When he said that, what did he mean by affliction? Like, because his kingdom of heaven is supposed to be we gonna come out there. As far as our people come out the wilderness helping people, what kind of affliction is gonna be in the kingdom that they gonna?
Well, yeah, it seems like contradiction,
Right.
but that affliction is not necessarily physical. Because if you're poor, that means you can't afford a house. So if you can't afford a house, that means you're sitting on the street. That's an affliction. Right? So that's another way of looking at it. Because you're gonna be healthy, but that don't mean you know how to handle your money. Right? So you might blow it all out, and now you become poor. Now you are a reason for someone to bless you. That's the reason you're poor, so somebody bless you. Let's see if we can get something left out of this class. Yeah, let's go ahead and finish up. What was that? 26? Isaiah 26.
We at Isaiah 26, verse 11.
All right, let's see if we can make something out of this.
So we stayed on neutral a long time then.
Yes.
Isaiah chapter 26, verse 11. Yahweh, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see, but they shall see and be ashamed for their envy at the people. Yea, the fire of thine enemies shall devour them. Yahweh, thou wilt ordain peace for us, for thou also have wrought all our works in us. O Yahweh, our Elohim, other masters beside thee have had dominion over us, but by thee only will we make mention of thy name. They are dead, they shall not live. They are deceased, they shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them and made all their memory to perish. Thou hast increased the nation, O Yahweh. Thou hast increased the nation. Thou art glorified. Thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. Yahweh, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon them. Like as a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery is in pain and crieth out in her pains, so have we been in thy sight, O Yahweh. We have been with child, we have been in pain. We have, as it were, brought forth wind. We have not wrought any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. Thy dead men shall live together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust, for thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead.
That's another reference to the resurrection. Right? So our Father knew about the resurrection, but Mashiach came and preached the resurrection. They already knew about it. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 26, verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. For behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain.
So again, we're looking at Mashiach returning to make a war against all those armies that came against Jerusalem. But when you look at verse 17, it's like as a woman or child that draweth near the time of her delivery is in pain and cry out in her pains, so have we been in thy sight, O Yahweh. We have been with child, we have been in pain, we have, as it were, brought forth wind. We have not brought any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. What's she mean by that? We've been with child. All we did was bring forth wind.
Right from Mashiach.
Yeah. They were waiting on the virgin birth. We read up in Isaiah chapter 7 and talk about a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, where they've been looking for that to happen. And so they said, well, we've been waiting on him, but she hadn't shown up. We know we've been pregnant, but we haven't brought forth anything but wind, so there's no deliverance. We haven't brought any deliverance in her. So that's what they were saying. They knew that the Messiah would come out of them, but it had come out thus far, so they didn't realize that, yeah, it's going to be that in year 4, I believe, that he's going to be brought forth at 4 AD. In verse 20, it says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as a word for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. For behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose the flood. They shall no more come to shame. So we're looking at, again, resurrection, but we're also looking at Armageddon. So that all that it's already been prophesied. So good we can look at the whole book, see it, see it in one book. There's no Old Testament, New Testament. The what they call New Testament reaffirms what the Old Testament is saying. So that child was indeed born of a virgin, so that came to pass. So from that point on, the law was magnified and made beautiful. I'm paraphrasing. I'm gonna stop right here. Does anyone have any question before we dismiss? Yes.
I'm just gonna make a little statement. I was on YouTube, right? Brand new baby just born, and the doctor said, "What you got to say?" He said, "My parents are poor. I want to go back. Right? I want to go back where I just came from."
Just black people in this commercial.
You got that is both Gentile and
These are Gentile.
Gentiles and black mixed, so they mixed them up. But they were all brand new, born first time, one day. All right, and this is what their statements are.
Yeah.
I want to go back.
I want to go back.
I want to go back.
He spoke. He ain't crying. I said, I want to go back.
He didn't cry. And he was serious. His baby was serious.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments? All right, let's see what's on chat. I have Brother Abraham Ben Israel on Facebook at the top.
Yes, sir.
Shalom, Brother Abraham. Shalom, Isha 777. Shalom, Brother Al-Hayam, Sister Malaka. Shalom, Brother Al-Hayam Ben Yasharala. Shalom, Brother Mickey Anderson. Shalom, Brother Akol Ben Israel. Shalom, Brother Hodai Ben Israel. Shalom, Brother Julius Brown. Shalom, Brother Eliyahu Ben Israel. Shalom, Sister Narai Israel. Shalom, Lonely Redwood. Shalom, Gregor Rucker. Shalom, Kujo Goody. Shalom, Clarence Marks and Sister Yolita. Shalom, Lonely Redwood. Shalom, Susie Garman. Shalom, Brother Saul Ben Israel. Shalom, Brother Malachi Israel. Shalom, Kimberly Israel. Shalom, Heroes 580. Shalom, Avisa Judah. Shalom, Ella Harim. Shalom, M. Shelton. Shalom, Melinda Curry. Shalom, Yashar Islam. Shalom, Brother Otis. Otis said that the derogatory term name spook started in the 1940s, a name for Tuskegee Airmen.
Okay.
That's something new. Yeah, too bad he's not a member here. That was cold, but that wasn't even called for, man. Forgive me, Otis. Shalom, Elder Tobiah. Shalom, Elder Mick. Hope you're doing all right, man. Shalom, Ezra ben Israel. Shalom, Kevin Birch. Ezra ben Israel says, Elder Stephen talked about the origin of the word school. The movie Birth of a Nation showed black kids running from a white sheet on a drying line. This inspired the KKK to wear those white sheets.
Okay.
All right. Well, we've been doing some research. Shalom, Sister Navah. What if a wife doesn't want to share her husband? Well, he got to look. Come on, not the right word, but yeah, he have to accept that. Because the wife has final say if she wants her husband to have another wife, even a concubine.
That's
You
correct.
gotta go through her first, and the wife say, "No, I'm sorry, I gotta leave it alone."
Where is that at?
Huh?
Where is that at? It says that.
Yeah, the wife gotta okay that.
Yeah.
Well, if you notice, whenever a man has a concubine, he has a wife first. Else she would be a concubine.
What if he gets another wife? Like she's not a concubine, but she's a wife. Like,
If she's a
they
wife,
have
then she's a
multiple
wife.
wives and
She's not a
concubines.
concubine.
I'm talking about like the second or third wife. They're wives, not concubines.
Well, that plays a key role too, because he can have more than one wife.
Right.
You can have 2 or 3 or 4 wives.
Didn't
Have that among the judges. Read the book of Judges. Some of the judges have a bunch of wives. Gideon had a bunch of wives. So, but you never call them concubines. So, as far as a wife is concerned, that's another level. But the concubine still belongs to the man.
So she had to have permission for the concubine, but you don't need permission for another wife.
That's up to the wife. If the wife want him to have another wife, he can probably go out there and get one. But I can't imagine a wife these days on the husband have another wife. Because like you were saying,
She might want to keep having kids. She might, okay, I had enough
well,
kids.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
wife.
they have a different mindset back in the day.
Right.
You know, like my brother Zach said, that these women are territorial. Because you look at Sarah, she gave her husband, what's her name? Hagar. Well, the issue, because the whole purpose of Hagar being that was to give him a child.
Right.
So it wasn't like she was jealous of Hagar. Except when Hagar started messing with her, said, "Yeah, I'm creating it. You ain't."
Mhm.
Yeah, that's when she had to beat her ass. Because
Man, I'm sore. You know, I'm sore. Start all that.
But you know, a lot of territory too got to do with, hate to say it, but when the good financial, because if you got good money, I think they'll accept it. You know what I mean?
these women are jealous, bro.
Yeah.
They don't want their husbands, no matter what, going to another woman.
Mm-mm.
Right? They want to put their hand right there on it. She worked hard to get it, and she ain't gonna share that with nobody else.
What you said, we will have another mindset, you know?
Well, yeah, but
You know what I mean? You know, the black women will have another mindset. They
that's
ain't gonna have
that's
that hatred on their own like they got
that's the
now.
question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Will they have another mindset?
Yeah.
We should have another mindset too, shouldn't we?
For us,
Man, we should have our mindset should change too as well, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
So will we still be jealous of our women?
Well, Elder, the Mashiach came and squared that up, didn't
Yeah, we
he? He
see.
said he said in Moshe substitute you put your wives away, but in the beginning it was not so. He said one man and one wife, right?
Mhm.
So evidently, in the kingdom of heaven, that polygamy, all that's out.
If you're gonna revert back to the God of Eden, yeah,
That's
you
out.
can't have more than one wife,
That's what I'm saying.
right? So
What about them
don't worry
other?
about that, my sister.
Hmm.
What about them other women that say, well, how many is gonna come to one man to give me your name?
That don't mean, like he'll say, that don't mean you have to accept it.
So
But
what
in
was
the
gonna
law,
happen to them?
but in the law, it
What's
talks
gonna happen
about,
to
you
them?
know,
That's another what they mentioned.
if the wife, if the son of the wife of the firstborn is hated, the firstborn still gets the right of the firstborn. You can't give it to the second wife. You know what I mean? That's the stipulation of the law, something like that, right?
Yeah, we got a law that says exactly that.
Right.
If the child, the son, the woman that you hated, uh, you can't give your inheritance to the second wife of the son that you love, right? Even though you hate that first wife, that first son, he gets the inheritance, no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah, Zach, I think Elder answered that question years ago. If seven women come to one man, take saying we got our own food and got our own clothing, but we call by your name. Well, Elder, he made another good point. They might have to take on maybe their grandfather, their uncle, or their brother's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they may have to be somebody's servant
Yeah.
if they belong to someone, like handmaid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yes, my sister number, don't be concerned about your husband wanting another wife. I think you're enough for him. Shalom, Mother Leah. Shalom, Ella, Oliver. Shalom, when we reached the kingdom, when things turned back the way they were before Adam and Eve took over the tree of knowledge. Well, when you go up into Isaiah, y'all will get there, we're going to see that in the kingdom of heaven, the lions will eat straw, and the bears will eat straw also. The child play on the cockatrice den. And so it'll be like the God of Eden was in the first place, before animals started eating meat. So the God of the kingdom will be a kingdom of heaven will be like that. Uh, so yeah, brother Oliver, Elder Oliver, uh, yeah, this will be like the God of Eden. Shalom, brother Kemuel, shalom, brother Benaiah, brother Pazant Israel,
Did you
being
see?
on pause.
Did you see Elder's question?
Who that?
Elder, Hiram.
Hiram?
Yeah, it says
I saw it. Let me see here.
some explain Revelation 1
A
and
good while back. Let's see here.
he right before 1 to M Shelton.
Yeah, oh, okay. I saw him. I spoke to him. I didn't see what he said though. It says, explain Revelation chapter 1, verse 8. I did not see what he was saying. Usually he doesn't ask me, but he go ahead and say it. I'm sorry about that, Elder. That Revelation chapter 1, verse 8. It says, I am Alpha, Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, said Adonai, which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. Now, I'm pretty sure your Bible has that written in red, but that normally means it's talking about the Messiah. But that's not the case in verse 8. This is he that sits upon the throne that was and is and which is to come. That'll be God himself, not the Messiah. Because if you drop down, uh, let me see here. Now look at what it says in verse 8. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, right? Down here in verse 11, it says, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. So these have a similarities and characteristics of these two entities, but they're two different entities. One is Elohim Almighty, and the other one is the Mashiach. But they share the same spirit of being the beginning and the ending.
Elder, I got a question. Like with the snakes and the scorpions and the spiders, would they still have poison with them? Because in the kingdom they have no need for that poison because they use the poison to kill so they can eat.
On that
In the kingdom of Elohim, they won't have no need for that poison anymore, would you?
in the kingdom of heaven.
Right, the snakes and spiders and scorpions.
Well, like you know what a cockatrice is?
Like a snake, ain't it?
Yeah.
So we won't have no need for poison anymore.
Right.
Right.
Right. So they don't have to worry about being poisoned.
Yeah.
As far as that's concerned. Yeah.
But now you say in the kingdom, you know, I mean, you know that basically, you know, Yahweh cursed the serpent and he may call upon his jealous. So would the serpent return back to his original form?
No, because that serpent actually was Satan.
All right.
In the garden.
I got you. All right.
Yeah, he just inhabited that serpent. That
Yeah,
particular
yeah,
serpent.
spirit,
Just like he
yeah,
dealt with that David,
Yeah.
Judas Iscariot.
Yeah,
So that serpent it's no longer has that spirit in him.
I got you.
Right. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I hope that helped you out, Elder. Let's see here. Yeah, I missed that question. I missed that question. Yeah, okay, we go. Brother Benaiah said men on pause. That's kind of true because with women going through them changes, men don't want to be around. Shalom, Brother Roosevelt Petrie, Shalom, Esther Yasharala, Shalom Yahweh Song, Shalom Oleg Jones. I would think we would be closed based on Mark 16 and 5, Revelation 6 and 9. That's just already at 6 and 9. 6, that's and when they opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Elohim and touched them out with these hell. And they cried with loud voice, saying, how long, O Yahweh, holy and true, that thou not just avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth. And white robes were given unto them, every one of them. And it was said unto them, they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brothers that should be killed as they should be fulfilled. We talk about two different timelines here. See, this is in preparation for the kingdom of heaven. We're referring to the kingdom of Elohim when we talk about clothing. All right, so we're talking about two. Let me see, Mark 16 and verse 5.
That's what you just read. You said white robe was given unto them, right? What did they have on before the white robe?
Bloody garments are bad. Mark 16, verse 5 says, entering into the sepulchre, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, clothed in a long white garment, and they were frightened. Well, that's an angel, but all the angels had clothes on, right? But that's not what we're referring to. We're referring to the kingdom of Elohim.
Right.
We talk about the need for clothes. Shalom, Kwame Russell. Shalom, Shove in Israel. Please be advised your dotation page is inoperable. You caught that?
Yeah, man. I wonder why I ain't got no money.
Ah,
I sent a text. Thanks, soul.
oh, you did? Okay.
We're working on it.
Appreciate it, brother Shaul. Shalom, brother yourself. So, can we fix that?
Huh?
Can we fix it?
Oh yeah, I'm working on that.
Okay. Shalom, Bishop Judah. If could you elaborate on Genesis 49, verse 16, verse 18? I'm trying to understand the serpent and vital part by the path. Thank you. Let's see. Genesis 49.
Judah.
Verse 16, verse 18. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, and add in the path that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall back. I have waited for thy salvation, O Yahweh. Now, he's not, you can't look at that as literal, right? He's not an adder, he's not a serpent, but these are be his characteristics as far as one of the tribes is concerned. Talking about Dan here. So Dan will be like a serpent, by the way, and be like an adder in the path that bites the horses, so he'll be a fierce people, so that his rider shall fall backward. I have waited for thy salvation, or Yahweh. That's kind of parenthetical right there, but nevertheless, we can't look at that as something literal. That'll be part of his characteristics.
The tribe of Dan were kind of like warriors too, though, weren't they? The tribe of Dan were kind of like warriors too.
Who?
The tribe of Dan.
Like warriors?
They're kind of like warriors.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you look at that when it says you'd be like a serpent by the way, and out in the path that bite the horse heels. So yeah, the can be rough people.
Kind of like Samson too. Like he was a judge, but he really just broke the law whenever he wanted, and he gave Philistines some problems.
Yeah, Dan. He was on the tribe of Dan, but he wasn't very serious Nazarite. So he did a thing Nazarite. I mean, he's Nazarite from birth, so he maintained it Nazarite.
Right.
But nevertheless, he didn't do the things that Nazarite normally does. The only thing he did was keep his hat long, but that's like a Nazarite does.
You never say he
But
drunk, though.
huh?
I never say he drunk anything.
No, he didn't drink anything either. That's true. So he kept the basis of the Nazarite, but the rest of the law, he ate honey out of a dead carcass.
Right.
Yeah.
And then gave it to his parents.
They care.
Did you have any Hannah?
Well, it wasn't important when I was on seminary, because in my years of studying, wife used to say the tribe of Dan, which was the Danites, which was the Germanic people.
The who?
The Germanic people, the German.
They were Dan?
Yeah.
How the hell they come up with that?
You got to ask them.
So you're telling me that the German people are actually Israelites?
That's what they say.
English people are Ephraim and Manasseh.
That's what they say.
I'm sorry, y'all gonna name it and claim it around here. I'm sorry. Shalom, brother yourself. Thank you. Yeah. Shalom, Wadi Gone. Shalom, Mother Kia. I guess that's it. Did I have anybody else? Did I miss anybody?
Nope, that's it.
All right, then. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Facebook, YouTube. So thank you. Good questions. So I hope I answered them to your satisfaction. Uh, Join us on our next history, my Bible study history class this coming Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. I'll give you 5 seconds to give me another question or comment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. All right. Thank you.